Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
We are proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company vidIQ as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida. We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in the LGBTQ community. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
That's right, buddy. And it is Wednesday, March 26, 2025. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
So welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ plus evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a non-profit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ community. Our non-profit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbians, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We will produce the 25th anniversary of our Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th. We present Pride Fete in August and Pride Fort Lauderdale in February. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader communities.
In 2025, more than 100 community leader anchors will host this show to support the LGBTQ plus community. Let's meet today's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome my brother from another mother. You know him. He's Dino Mosquera. He's my favorite Venezuelan in the whole entire world. He joined the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival in the late 90s and now serves on the Outshine Film Festival's board of director. And the Outshine Film Festival is back in action April 17th through the 27th, right? So Dino, Cocktails and Cinema, Lilies Not For Me, screens at Gateway Theater on March 27th. Can you tell me what's happening?
That's right, yeah. We are starting our promotion for the film festival with this movie. Film lovers and the LGBTQ community are in for a treat as Outshine Film Festival Cocktails and Cinema presents Lilies Not For Me at the Gateway Theater, Fort Lauderdale on Thursday, March 27 at 7:30 p.m. The film follows a gay novelist and his psychiatric nurse whose deep emotional bonds lead them into a risky procedure in a gripping tale of love and identity. Attendees can enjoy complimentary post-film cocktails by Tito's Vodka while mingling with fellow cinephiles. Tickets are priced at $10, making this an accessible cultural experience. Don't miss this immersive evening of cinema, cocktails, and conversation. For tickets and more details, visit outshinefilm.com, and that also will tell you what our program will be for the upcoming festival. So again, the festival is April 17 to the 27th in Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. And so, but this is like, Cocktails and Cinema, you guys have been having events like that throughout the year. It hasn't
Correct.
just been that's a great thing about Outshine Film Festival, right? They've elevated their game, right? Before you just expected Outshine to do their film festival once a year and that was that. Now they've got it, they used to have it in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale in 2 separate times. Now they have figured a beautiful way to like kind of marry that together and have a couple of days in each city, and everybody is loving it. So now aside from that, they're also doing the Cocktails and Cinema like this. So $10 to go see this movie with your friends, a great LGBTQ plus feature. And I didn't know, first of all, cinephiles. I want to start using that word. I love that.
That's what I am,
right?
a cinephile.
You are a cinephile. Anyway, so grab the rest of your cinephiles and go do that. Like for $10, you get Tito's drinks, you get to watch a great movie and like get those juices flowing because the film festival is right around the corner.
And the Gateway Theater is an amazing little theater that we need to support because there are no independent theaters.
Yeah.
They're a dying breed.
We had the same event last night in Miami, so with the same film at the Out Cinema, Miami Beach, and then, you know, it's the one tomorrow in Fort Lauderdale. Again, this Cocktails and Cinema is a way to promote the festival leading to the festival. So we start like in January, we have a film every month, same deal, you know, with drinks. And, you know, we saw a film at the Built Cosper Cinema like a month ago, An Indian Boy with Jonathan Groff.
Yeah.
It was great. A great
in Coral Gables, something like that, right?
At the University of Miami.
Yes.
And we had drinks, a great gathering. A lot of people are coming. We're partnering sometimes with the Miami Film Festival as well in some of these films. It's a way to promote the festival, to engage the community and to later release our program so people have an idea what's coming. And again, the film festival is coming up, so the program will be released this coming week.
Awesome.
So so this is our last Cocktails and Cinema before the film festival.
Oh, okay, this will be the last one then.
And then we have an event with the Miami Beach Gay Pride.
Oh, I love it. And that's coming up next week.
Next week.
So what I was going to say about this, about the theaters that Buddy was saying, how important it is, you know, and Outshine does that so well, right? I mean, to be able to go, yes, you're going to have Savor Cinema. Yes, you're going to have the beautiful one downtown. What's the one downtown in Miami?
Silver Spot.
Silver Spot. That's amazing and renovated and brand new. But Gateway, Old Cinema, those are the places that we really need to make sure that we support and that we love because they're the ones that are playing films that other places are not.
Right.
Okay, if you look up Old Cinema and find out all the drama that's going on with them right now, it's unfortunate because we need more spaces like this.
And these older theaters, well, the Gateway's famous for the world premiere of Where the Boys Are, but at the same point, the Gateway Theater is very intimate. It's not like going to these bigger theaters where it's like you and 4,000 other people. You know,
and they've been very good to us. I mean, the Gateway, they've been supporting our festival for years, and every time we come to Fort Lauderdale, we have it at the Gateway. Well, it's part of the community within Wilton Manor, so it's a very important theater for us, and the community like it, and it's a good old art house. You know, the kind of the very traditional art house, which I think is great to support and to keep because let's face it, movie theaters are facing hard times.
That's true.
It's not, after the pandemic, they have not really been able to sustain.
To come back.
Yeah, to come back. And especially little theaters like the Gateway and the Old Cinema. So this is good for the community for sure. So
Outshine, always doing good. So that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing to Queer News Tonight. And we look forward to seeing you at Cocktails and Cinema, Lilies Not For Me at Gateway Theater on March 27th. It's time to welcome my friend, anchor Buddy Frey. He supports many of South Florida's local nonprofit organizations like Julian's Fountain of Youth and the Stonewall National Library and Museum. Hey, Buddy. So Equality Park After Dark, all right, which is one of my favorite things to do because it's so much fun, brings food and fun on April 17th. Tell me what's happening.
Well, the Equality Park After Dark market returns on April 17th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the newly renovated plaza at Equality Park. It's held every third Thursday, and this vibrant event features food trucks, handmade crafts, vintage finds, art, music, clothes, and all kinds of local merchants. Visitors can enjoy delicious foods, shopping, and live entertainment while supporting local artists, authors, and businesses. The market is especially pet-friendly. Equality Park After Dark aims to create a lively, inclusive space for socializing and discovering all kinds of goodies and local talent. Whether craving gourmet bites or seeking a one-of-a-kind handmade goods, guests can peruse a diverse selection of vendors. For more details, visit pridecenterflorida.org. It's an amazing event. I mean, it's like a farmer's market at night. It's a lot of fun. You get to see the same people. You get to see new people. You make all kinds of good friends. And every now and then you walk away with more than you thought you would.
Most of the time. I think that's what happens, you know. I love me a good farmer's market, right? One of my favorite places is a yellow green market, right? Guess when is the last time I went there? about 4 years ago.
Right.
Why? Because it's hot, okay? Because it's way too hot, all right, to really enjoy and take in the sights and eat and drink and have a good time and shop and all that. I can't when I'm sweaty like this, okay? So this at Equality Park after dark makes so much sense because it's cooler at night, right?
And there's great parking.
And there's great parking, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
The number one thing, though, for me is right now we need to be supporting LGBTQ and BIPOC owned businesses, okay? And you will see that all here on display for you. You'll have yummy food. You'll have yummy drinks. Dog friendly. I walked away with like a collar for Padme and like little booties for her. Who knew? Lesbians can make these little booties for dogs. You just never know what you're going to find there.
Her closet is bigger than yours, I hear.
Whatever.
What?
Whatever. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Queer News Tonight also looks forward to seeing you at Equality Park after dark on April 17th.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She's a legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of Hotspots Happening Out, the FayWhat Show. Faye, the OutSFL Gala is on May 22nd at the Manor for LGBTQ Youth Scholarship. What's going on? Tell me.
Oh my God. Well, you know, I love Out South Florida, right? And I was the person of the year for 2024 from Out South Florida. So they know what they're talking about, right? So the Out South Florida Pride Gala is coming up, a major fundraising event supporting the educational aspirations of LGBTQ youth. It will take place on Thursday, May 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Crystal Ballroom at the venue in Wilton Manors. South Florida, the gala aims to unite the LGBTQ plus community and allies in safeguarding the future of queer youth. A highlight of the evening will be the crowning of the 2025 Ms. Out South Florida pageant winner and the presentation of the prestigious Marsha P. Johnson Award. This event is expected to become a significant annual celebration in South Florida's social calendar. Supporters can attend to show solidarity and contribute to this important cause. For more details, visit OutSFL.com. You know, I love Jason and all the boys over there over at Out South Florida, and a couple of girls also who are out there as well. And they always try to do good for our community. And, you know, we have so many stories about the target that we all have on our back from Trump, and every day something else is stripped away from our community. So that's why more and more of these events are so important, you know. Out South Florida is going to have this gala for the fundraiser to help youth who's got a bigger target on their back. It's youth and trans. Those are our community members that are at deepest hurt right now, you know. And so Out South Florida is trying to do their part by having this gala, and I commend them for it. I'm excited to see who's going to be Ms. Out South Florida for 2025. They're having their pageant before their gala, and then at the gala, they're going to crown their winner, which is something I've never really seen do. So they're trying to switch it up, which I'm all about, you know. They're also giving away a Marsha P. Johnson award. So, you know, that's got to be, given to somebody super important and super great with that name attached to that award, you know, especially in these days, you know.
Do you know who's competing for it?
I don't. You should.
I should, but I don't. But I see the one in the poster.
Okay.
Erica Norrell is in the
so
poster.
So Erica Norrell, thank you so much for mentioning that, Dino. Dino's so smart. Erica Norrell is your first Ms. Out South Florida. She won the title last year. And if you know Erica Norrell, she's won every title in the world. So she's
legendary.
She's legendary. She's iconic. And the bitch still looks the same like she did when I met her when she was 25. So it's really not fair. But aside from that, she is your first Ms. Out South Florida for 2024. And again, elevated. They started off this competition in such an elevated way. Like, you've got to be there and be ready to win this coveted crown and follow Erica Norrell.
She's Cuban royalty.
She's Cuban royalty, and we love her. I'm still waiting for my dress, by the way, Erica.
And we need to support it just because it's for the right reasons. It's for scholarships.
Yep.
Yes, so that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer non-profit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing the Queer News Tonight. Looks forward to seeing you at the OutSFL Gala on May 22nd at the Manor for LGBTQ Youth Scholarships.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up the world view. WorldPride 2025 in DC faces boycott amid safety concerns, but the celebration will go on. WorldPride 2025 in Washington, D.C. was meant to be a historic celebration of LGBTQ plus resilience. But with the event just weeks away has become a battleground over safety and visibility under Donald Trump's administration. On Saturday, the African Human Rights Coalition, AHRC, urged a boycott, citing risks for foreign queer attendees, especially trans people and people of color. AHRC Executive Director Melanie Nathan warned, quote, "The United States is no longer a free democratic country that WorldPride signed up for," end quote. She pointed to anti-LGBTQ policies, restricted asylum protections, and increased hostility toward trans individuals. However, the WorldPride organizers reject the boycott, calling participation an act of defiance. According to Capital Pride Alliance Executive Director Ryan Boss, a boycott of WorldPride sends the wrong message, saying, quote, "We need to show up together, show resilience and resistance to ensure we remain visible and heard," end quote. The event, running May 17th to June 8th, coincides with DC's 50th Pride anniversary. Organizers insist canceling or relocating is not an option. However, AHRC warns trans travelers could face heightened scrutiny, denial of entry, or detention. A new State Department directive requiring visas to list sex at birth has intensified concerns. The political climate has already had consequences. Major sponsors have withdrawn and cultural institutions have distanced themselves. Despite this, WorldPride plans a large-scale protest march on June 8th. The event will also feature the largest LGBTQ music festival ever, featuring Jennifer Lopez, Troye Sivan, Kim Petras, and more. R&B star Khaled, who was outed last year, will headline a free street concert, making his Pride debut. RuPaul will be a featured DJ. WorldPride 2025 is no longer just a celebration, it's a statement. I gotta take a breath about that, right? Because I know that this conversation would be so entirely different, right? If Kamala had won, if Kamala was in office right now, right? And from my seat, I want to tell people that this is a time to come together, that you should show up, right? When we talk about events, I always say, yes, you've got to show your numbers, strengthen numbers. You got to show that we're not afraid to be who we are, that we are out and proud, right? There's a but coming, and it's not a pretty but that you both want to see. But I am not going anywhere near DC for WorldPride. And I'm sorry to say that. The security measures worry me. The fact that my queer friends from other countries can come here and get detained and then taken to Guantanamo is not even like a thought that I want to process. You know, so I've been trying my best to be as positive when we do the WorldPride stories, because I want people to show up. And it's true. It is a matter of resilience and resistance and protest to show up. But I'm scared, boys.
Okay.
I am scared. I'm telling you. And I know I'm not the only one out there, you know?
You aren't. But here's the deal. You have to go. Okay, first of all, if you're going, it's because it's been planned. I mean, these things are planned years in advance. It takes 2 years. We have these every 2 years. So you know the minute that WorldPride 2018 is done, they're already working on 20 and 22. But the point is that because so much time and effort, so much has been invested in this for so long, from such a great organization. Most people have made these plans and have bought these tickets a year in advance.
Yeah.
So when you do go, pay attention. Be smart. Don't be by yourself. Don't make yourself a target. Be wise about who you're around and where you are. Pay attention to where the exits are. Pay attention to where the security is and the police. There are allies there to help us. I'm not saying don't go, but I'm saying be smart.
See something, say something.
Exactly. And don't not go if you've already paid for it, because this is such an important event. We've made so many strides, and in 8 weeks, so much is, or 20 weeks, so much has changed. But at the same point, we can't let those 20 weeks stop us.
No, I agree with you, and I agree with Ryan. It's not the time to hide. It's not the time to give them the pleasure of seeing us weak. And I've been to WorldPride before, several times. I've been to the one in New York. It was in 2019. In Toronto, I went to the one in Madrid. I went to WorldPride too. It's a great celebration. It's a shame that we have to go through this right now with this administration, but we can't just give up. We have to show up. And it's just, again, we also have the World AIDS Conference, you know. I've been through the World AIDS Conference. In that case, and in the past, in past administrations, the fact that they will not let people with HIV get visas to come to the U.S. There was a time where you couldn't get a visa. A lot of the people that were coming to the World AIDS Conference could not get in. And
wow.
Yeah, it's sad and shocking that we're going back to that.
Yeah.
But in that case, I could see more the reason for, moving the conference somewhere else, but not for WorldPride.
But it's financially not possible. You've got too many permits in place, too many businesses.
100. And, and these people know what they're doing. This is not their first WorldPride, folks, right? They are really on top of what's going on in the world, right? Or they're constantly releasing new data and letting people know that they've upped security they've added this, they've added that. It's not their first go around.
Well, let's not forget, we have Gay Pride Miami Beach next week
We do.
So this could happen anywhere. We have to be vigilant. We have to be responsible. We have to, if
100%.
you see something, say something.
But I'm still afraid of my friends from other countries coming here. Okay, maybe get them. You know what? Everybody in the U.S. go support. I'm not going. I will be nowhere near D.C. because I will not. I don't have that kind of confidence. I'm sorry.
But that's why I'm saying be smart. I mean, don't wear a target on your ass. Don't get into a fight that's
unnecessary. Stay in the vicinity. Stay with your people. If you're going to the WorldPride events, go to those events. You don't have to go.
Connect, network, celebrate, have fun.
Yeah.
Go home and take that energy home with you, but just don't give up. It's too quick.
Look, I was away in Scranton, and I would see on my feed the different things that were going on, and that I saw that story about the makeup artist that got deported
for
having a tattoo that was a gang affiliation, which was not. He was just a gay makeup artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that scares the living patoots out of me. Buddy.
Well, they're showing him on a video when he's getting his head shaved, and humiliated.
But
he's telling them he's gay, and but we have to fight.
We have to stand tall. We have to be true to ourselves, and we have to be wise. We have to come together and be wise for a change, and not be emotional.
And not
be
hard
emotional. As it is.
It's hard for us gays to not be emotional. All right. So in this way, you know what? Boycott those people that don't support LGBTQ.
Right.
Do not boycott an event of this magnitude that is so needed, especially this.
And we have so many allies here: Jennifer Lopez and all these different artists that are coming and trying to give us support and trying to help us raise
big
money.
Names too. Big names.
Cynthia Erivo is going to perform in the show at the stadium.
Alphaba's going to perform.
Alphaba is going to be there. Okay, Troye Sivan, the sweetest twink of them all.
But like I said, this might be the first point that we actually start coming together and saying enough.
Right. That's right.
It's important.
So that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's dive deep into this LGBTQ story for today. I'm Dino Mosquera, and let's queer up business. Disney shareholders stand by the queer community and reject anti-DEI proposal. Disney shareholders have overwhelmingly rejected a proposal from a conservative think tank that sought to distance the company from LGBTQ inclusion efforts. At Disney's annual shareholder meeting, the National Center for Public Policy Research urged the company to stop using the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, CEI, as a benchmark for workplace policies. The proposal gained little traction as 99% of shareholders voted no. Disney's board had already recommended voting against it, stating that removing the companies from the CEI will not provide any additional value to shareholders. Eric Blum, Vice President of Corporate Citizenship at the Human Rights Campaign Foundation, has praised the outcome. Disney has consistently earned a perfect score on the CEI since 2007. This vote stands in contrast to recent anti-DEI actions by major corporations like Paramount and Google, as well as rollbacks in government programs under the Trump administration. Disney is also believed to have the largest LGBTQ employee base of any corporation in the world, and the vote is viewed by queer activists as a vote of support of its employees. this is once again a show how Disney is LGBTQ supportive. I mean, they did it to Ron DeSantis. I mean, they are not backing
They
down.
fought him.
They put on a fight and they were successful.
Yeah.
So that tells you, and that tells people like Target and Walmart and all these companies that are, going with this.
Pay attention.
That are kissing the ring.
Kissing the ring, right? Pay attention because, you are going to lose at the end, and Target is losing profits
Yes.
because of this.
Big time.
Well,
So-
I mean, for years I had a season pass, and yes, I went to every gay days, and I had a blast, and yes, I was the oldest man there, but I didn't give a flying.
you were a Disney gay.
I was a Disney gay, and I'm also very fond of Universal too. But even though years ago I can remember when Gay Days was not official, the park would put out a huge merchandise campaign just on the hidden symbols and the hidden rainbows and all that, and everyone knew. But also for many decades, Disney has long said that the majority of their cast are gay.
Yeah.
LGBTQ.
Yeah. And
From corporate on down.
On
It's not
down.
just the parks. It's at every level of their huge family of businesses.
yeah.
So they know where. I mean, they've been supporting us for generations, even if it hasn't been as public as it is now. So this is just a ranking. It's not like they're doing anything special. So
But they are.
no, but they are. But I'm just saying for this group to say, well, you can't be ranked anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney threatened DeSantis to leave. And
Yeah.
if he would have left Florida would have lost billions, okay, with a B, not even, just some chump change.
Yeah, like hundreds of billions.
I look at Amazon, I look at Target, okay? Target that tried to come out for us and put all the merchandise in the front and then all of a sudden got some backlash and then threw out the merchandise or put it all the way in the back and all that kind of stuff, You've got to have big cojones like Disney does. Disney has big cojones. They get good legal people. They have their shareholders in on it. Right? Which is a vast comparison as to if you think about Walt Disney, right? If Walt Disney was alive right now, he would not want any kind of DEI because he was against all this stuff, It's ironic. It's ironic, okay? So
Maybe.
I hope that they stick to this, okay? Because at the end of the day, money talks.
Well, but their employees talk, and if their employees shut down, I mean, it was bad enough that during COVID they had to shut down. Watch when your employees walk out.
Which is definitely a possibility.
So, it's good that 99% of the stockholders support.
100%, and I hope it stays that way.
It will.
You know what I mean? Because
It
times
will.
are tough right now, all right? And I
Stockholders
can't,
have been very fair and very loyal.
look at Amazon, right? That Amazon blackout. I think we had an Amazon blackout day, and I was like, "What do you mean I can't buy anything from Amazon?" I mean, and it's hard. It's hard for us to put our money where our mouth is. As well,
But that's, Amazon and even Target. I'm sorry, Target, because I do like your store. But, I shop local. I'm tired of big corporations deciding on a whim, do I support you? How much money do you bring in?
Yep.
Well, fuck you. I'll show you how much money I bring in.
That's exactly. We have to show with our dollars. I mean, it's the gay dollar. We
Stop
have to
with
show.
the people of color. I mean, you just started making inroads and proving how strong your company can be if you let everyone at the table. And then suddenly, because of
Listen.
Donald Trump,
they eliminated Colin Powell's name
Yes.
from Arlington.
Yes.
Folks at home, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up. I mean, they have eliminated every single name from the Arlington Cemetery that was a black person, a person of color, or a woman.
and transgendered.
Well, the stupidity, they deleted the Enola Gay, the name of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Just because
said gay.
it has gay in the name. The stupidity knows no limit.
No limit.
No limit.
I might have to stop talking because my name rhymes with gay. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Buddy Frey, and let's queer up trans rights. This may be the most difficult Trans Day of Visibility in history. Trans Day of Visibility has long been a celebration of strength and authenticity, but in 2025, in this day and age, it arrives under a dark cloud of political hostility. In just 2 months, Donald Trump's administration has aggressively dismantled transgendered protections, issuing executive orders that strip rights from the American trans community. One of Trump's first acts was to revoke federal recognition of gender identity, ordering all agencies to classify people strictly as male or female based on their birth sex. This affects everyone, from everything from passports to federal funding for trans-inclusive programs. The administration also withdrew protections for trans youth, military service members, and discrimination safety guards in education and healthcare. GLAAD reports that Trump's recent address to the Congress included over 1,500 words attacking the LGBTQ people. He spent more time talking on that than he spent on talking about jobs and affordability. With 40 anti-trans bills already passed this year, the Trans Day of Visibility 2025 marks not just visibility, but an urgent fight for survival. Trans Day of Visibility will be celebrated across America and the world this Monday, March 31st. All of the divisions of hotspots happening out celebrate our trans community. Queer News Tonight has a dedication to the Trans Day of Visibility and Trans Day of Remembrance. And in 2024, we had more than 100 stories focusing on our trans brothers and sisters. You know, it's hard to come in and do these stories because it just continues and it gets harder and harder and harder. And it's only been 2 bleeping months. You know, that's what's just got me so godsmacked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just hope that our community starts to take a deep breath and really think about making sure that we support each other. I went to an event this weekend and I actually had a couple of, I call them friends, starting to complain about all this attention on trans this, trans that, and I just went, shut up. They're the easiest, lowest hanging fruit to target. And if they go, we go.
Do you think they want to be talked about to this capacity? Of course
No,
not.
not.
Of course not.
Of course not. But it was stunning to have somebody at a party, a gay couple, both bitching about it.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
just reminded them, I said how important it is to get together and support each other.
Well, and kudos to you for correcting them. Okay, that's what we all have to do in our community. Even within our own community, we've got to be like, wait, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? Oh, hell no. No, you're not going to say those words because, again, they're first. We're in line. You know what I mean?
I had to remind them, I mean, between lesbians and drag queens, who the fuck started the life that we have now?
Yeah.
Who helped us through the AIDS crisis?
Lesbians.
Who started the riot at Stonewall's? Drag queens.
Trans. Yeah.
And trans.
Yep.
We have to remember whose backs we stand on to get to this
Right,
point.
but this is the success of the Republican narrative. Is even getting Democrats to split on our support of this issue. When you see Gavin Newsom, somebody that I highly admire,
Me too.
and I actually hope that one day he runs for president, starts, taking these talking points about, how unfair is
Women, trans and women's sports and stuff, yeah.
Then we have a problem.
We do.
We have a problem when we are just splitting and actually siding with these people.
100%.
But we have to do our homework. I mean, in all the legislation that we're talking about trans in sports, there are less than 10 athletes out of 530,000 collegiate athletes. 10
That are trans.
are trans.
Yeah.
And we've spent how much time and effort and how many arguments and what is it, 40 regulations or laws or
At least. Yeah.
have come down because of 10 people?
So I'm going to read, there's this beautiful woman. Her name is Ada Taina Norell, and she's part of the Norell family. Hi, right? And so she posted this yesterday, right? I honestly don't even have the words, but I need to speak on this. After everything I've gone through, every form filled, every document updated, every dollar spent to align my legal identity with who I am, I just received an updated license with my old gender marker on it. The shock, the disbelief, the gut punch of seeing something that says, we don't see you, we don't respect you, you don't belong. I just want to live authentically, fully, safely. But I guess maybe that might be too much to ask.
Unbelievable.
Can you imagine getting your license in the mail right now I'm just saying.
What is
no.
that? How is that affecting you? How is that affecting anybody else other than the person? I mean, that is basically targeted.
No.
How is that accepting that this person just wants to live the way she wants or he wants? How is that affecting you? I just don't understand.
It has nothing to do with
Nothing
it.
to.
It has to do with people just trying to put somebody else down.
Look, we'll end this segment by talking about the fact that Trans Day of Visibility is on Monday. Okay, it's March 31st. It's March 31st every year. Remember last year when they got mad at us because it landed on Easter? Right?
Yeah.
We didn't choose the calendar. It's always on March 31st. Monday, we have an incredible event at the Pride Center at Equality Park. I will be hosting it. It starts about 6:30. Go to a TDOV event. That's how you can help. Go to a Trans Day of Visibility event. If you can't go on Monday, donate some money. Trans social, trans inclusive, trans ed. I can go on and on. There are many, Ariana Center. There are many local trans organizations that are fighting the fight, that are at the front lines with these girls and boys, trying to get them their papers to match in a timely manner. I mean, like, what they have had to do the last couple of months before Donald Trump came into office has been crazy to watch. And now, Adriana Tender at Trans Inclusive, she says, I get messenger messages at 3 a.m. from a woman that doesn't know what to do. And it's like, they'll always go, like, when it comes to the immigrants, right? The immigrants are taking our jobs, right? Okay. Trans people are not taking your jobs. Most of them can't even get a job because their stuff doesn't match, because their documents don't match. I mean, they're not hurting anyone.
And we're next. And on top of that, I mean, regardless of how local you are to South Florida, reach out, anyone on the internet, anyone watching us around the world, wherever you are, reach out to your local community. Be respectful and do your homework.
Amen. Trans Day of Visibility is Monday, March 31st. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this LGBTQ story for today. I'm Dino Mosquera, and let's queer up the USA view. Trump frees $175 million over Penn's support for trans swimmer Lia Thomas. Trans Day of Visibility will be celebrated March 31st in many different ways. The Trump administration's recognition of Trans Day of Visibility was shocking. They confirmed leading up to the March 31st event by saying it will pause $175 million in federal funding for the University of Pennsylvania due to its policies supporting trans student athletes. The White House Rapid Response account on X shared a Fox Business video announcing the move, calling it "Promises Made, Promises Kept." The funding freeze stems from a Title IX investigation regarding university support of transgender swimmer Lia Thomas, who faced national backlash in 2022. A UPenn spokesperson told Newsweek that the school has always followed the NCAA and Ivy League policies regarding student participation on athletic teams. They added that the university has not received official notification about the funding cut. This move comes as the NCAA, under pressure from the Trump's executive orders, voted in February to ban all trans women from women's college sports. However, this crackdown extends beyond sports. Officials have been pressuring universities to eliminate DEI programs. A letter from interim U.S. Attorney Ed Martin to Georgetown Law Center warned that the school promoting DEI could see students barred from federal jobs programs. Advocates call these actions an attack on inclusion, while the Trump administration frames them as fulfilling campaign promises. It's shocking to me that this is where they focus their attention, that they, with so many problems this country is going through and all this isolation that we're going through around the world, and Donald Trump just dedicates so much time and effort to make the life miserable of people, trans people. And obviously they told us already, the Project 2025, that these diversity, equality, and inclusion programs were going to go away. And here it's happening. It's just, it's is gross what they're doing. I can't believe that we are, just making such a big deal about one swimmer.
But I mean, I'm confused. Didn't she graduate already
She graduated this year.
So they're still making it a point of her for her having competed for the last couple of years.
They're making it an issue, and they're using it as a grab back for the $175 million. However, I think the one bright line in that whole story is that they haven't given notification about of taking that money back at this late stage in the school year, because school's out in 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The fact that they haven't taken it away makes me think that maybe this is just more of a PR issue, because the NCAA has already agreed to bar the 10 trans athletes from participating.
Yeah.
And Leah, I believe this is her senior year, unless she goes on to,
I thought she graduated already. I was under the impression that she graduated already. Again, this is Trump with his bullying tactics. Okay, this is how you show people how to be a bully in life, right? Okay, you don't want to listen to what I'm doing, you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, or you don't want to do what I say. Okay, no problem. I will take this away from you until you do.
But there's going to be a lawsuit, as there always is, and he's going to lose. But the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump's personality is, I'm happy no matter what the story is. So it can be as negative and nasty as it can be, or it can be something positive. And he's done a lot of damage in 8 or 12 weeks. And I think that, again, we're going back to all this BS over low-hanging fruit and going after 0.759% of the population, and in college sports, 10 athletes.
Yeah.
It's all just to feed his base. And I think at this point, between this week's, it's no secret, we had such a screw up with the war plans being public. He's desperately looking for something to take the focus off of.
Yeah.
It's every week. It's a different scandal. Every day is a different thing.
Yeah.
So we forget what the scandal last week was, because this week is a different one. By Friday we'll have another one.
Exactly. And we'll forget about that one.
We'll forget about this one with the Signal chat thing. It's just that's the administration's modus operandi. We have a scandal every week. Their cruelty knows no limit.
No.
They have no problem, shutting down funding for the University of Pennsylvania. That's wonderful research, medical research, world-class medical research that comes out of the UPenn, and they have no qualms doing, shutting them down. They have no issue canceling USAID. A lot of people in the third world are going to be dying because they can't take the HIV medication that we have been providing for years and have turned around the epidemic of HIV around the world, particularly in kids born to HIV positive mothers. But we have no problem with this, just because we need to cut some funds from the government so that we can give millionaires and billionaires tax cuts. The cruelty is insane.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. Now, U of Penn, I will say that, they have other people who donate and stuff like that, right? They're a bigger corporation, right? They have frozen funds for nonprofits right here, Dino, in our own backyard. Nonprofits that you know and love have gotten frozen assets on certain things that were promised to them.
But this is where we come together. The U of Penn, like most major state organizations or schools, have billion-dollar endowments. Hopefully, some of those endowments can be pulled to fulfill these $175 million.
Wow.
But also, this is a point where, we have to come together as a nation, not a gay nation, not a straight nation, but a nation, and we have to start patching and filling and saying enough. UPenn, you lose $175 million. I have $100. Let me give you $100. Let's try and work together.
Wasn't Bill Gates that was talking about, the biggest philanthropist of them all, Bill Gates, that has done so wonderfully for outside the U.S. I mean, the world, everything that we care so much for so many years, and he says we can make up for the U.S. now pulling out of all this. Wow. I mean, he can't possibly, even though he gives a lot of his money
he
to
can't
this,
cover it. That's how much it is. That's how much it is.
That's how much it is. How's the damage that this is inflicting in programs, not only for patients, but for people that work for those patients that are going to lose their jobs, are going to be on the streets.
But at this point, I mean, the damage that's been done is because of the speed. No president has ever used the executive power like he has by going around Congress.
Yeah.
So, in 8 weeks, he's done a whole world of hurt to everybody. There is no one safe from this.
Yeah.
From Medicaid to food stamps.
Yep.
It's all on the table. And I think that that's what's got everyone caught off guard, because most presidents go through Congress and they go through the House.
He's governing by executive order.
Like just signing those papers at his desk every day. I think it was something about Social Security today and him making sure that the old people can't say who they are on the phone. They'll have to go into the Social Security office
And he's cut
to
half
state
the
that
offices.
themselves.
He's shut down half of the offices.
Right.
So, but my point is, again, we, and I harp on every time I'm on the show, is we have to come together. We have to start networking. We have to start filling those gaps, and we have to vote people out.
Well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer and nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ plus story. For today, I am FayWhat, and let's queer up drag culture. RuPaul celebrates 1,000th show in Las Vegas Residency. History was made in Las Vegas this week as RuPaul's Drag Race Live celebrated its 1,000th show at the Flamingo. The milestone event brought together drag artists, celebrities, and fans for a spectacular weekend honoring the legacy of drag on the Vegas Strip. Hosted by Ginger Minj, the show featured stars like Asia O'Hara, Jada Essence Hall, and season 16 queens and South Florida girl Morphine Love Dion and Plain Jane. RuPaul himself took the stage at the 1,000th show, thanking the cast, crew, and fans who have made Drag Race a global phenomenon. But this moment isn't just about the glitz and glamour. It's about the decades of work, W-E-R-K, baby, that made it possible. RuPaul's first Vegas residency at the Sahara in 1994 was short-lived, but it laid the foundation for today's success. That show introduced RuPaul to choreographer Jamal Sims, who is now the co-director of Drag Race Live. The 1,000th show live stream of RuPaul's Drag Race Live is now streaming on Wow Presents Plus. For tickets and more information about RuPaul's Drag Race Live at the Flamingo Las Vegas, you can visit Caesars.com. What RuPaul has done for drag, what RuPaul has done for many in our community, the magnitude of World of Wonder, right? They have their own streaming channel, right? That I steal the code from my brother to watch everything on. It is what it is, right? The empire that it is, the TV shows, the spin-offs of the TV shows, the specials, All-Stars. And then, let's not forget to mention RuPaul from other countries, Drag Race from other countries as well. The Vegas Residency, congratulations to them for having 1,000 shows. It's not easy to stay, relevant on Vegas, on the Strip especially. And, I've gone to one of the shows. Mostly all my friends who have gone to Vegas go to the show because it's like a must do. Have you, with all the times you've been?
But I will.
Well, you're going to Vegas in the next couple of weeks.
I'm going, and I'm going this, in July, but yes, I'm going. So I'm going to try to see the show.
You got to go get your tickets.
I would love to see it. I always like RuPaul. I saw RuPaul's one, but before RuPaul's Drag Race. Picture it. South Beach, 1992. It was Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Talking about WorldPride, it was Washington, D.C. This is one supermodel of the world, okay? Yeah. So this is, late 90s?
I think so,
Late 90s? Something like that.
That one, he was Baby Ru.
Baby RuPaul, right. And I saw RuPaul at the Madame Tussauds Museum in New York City.
Okay, you saw him or you saw his statue?
Saw him.
Oh, okay.
The day before they opened. So this is weird. They opened the day before, and I'm just walking around the museum, and the central figure is RuPaul in drag.
Yeah.
And I'm all about RuPaul. And then the guard, see me taking pictures of her, and then I continue my tour. Then later on, he comes and find me later in the museum and tells me, you know who's here? RuPaul. To check the...
Yeah.
And he called me, and
you squealed like a little gay boy.
He took a picture of me with RuPaul. I was like, oh my God. He's very tall, by the way. He's very tall.
So cute, Dino.
This is a moment I'll never forget.
Of course not. And what are the chances that you're there at Madame Tussauds? They're about to show this display of him, and he's there.
He's there. Yeah,
cool.
Those are
cool.
Cosmic things.
Those are universal kisses on the forehead. But I'll say I always got a butt, right? Yeah. Maybe because I don't have a butt, so that's why I always have a butt. For this 1,000th episode, He came out as Ru. He didn't come out.
That's how I met
in
him.
drag.
Right. He was not in,
Yeah,
which
but
is weird, right?
Well, it's weird for the show, not for your thing.
No, I think it's appropriate because Ru is an industry. I mean, he's a billionaire.
That's true.
Let's just say it. Billion with a B. Because of his
flacking. What is that? The flacking cracking? What is that? The oil stuff that he does? What's it called?
fracking.
Thank you.
Fracking. Yeah, fracking.
No.
Again, I'm poor, so I don't know what these things mean, you know? So
he's a billionaire beyond his
Yes.
husband.
Oh, okay.
His husband is very successful with his family's business in Montana, but no, with all of his, with WOW and all the syndicated shows and everything that he's got going, he's in his own right a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's changed the game for drags. I mean, he's employing all these girls after they go through RuPaul's Drag Race. They have a career. We have Bianca Del Rio now. We have Jinx Monsoon, Bob
Alyssa Edwards is gonna Bob the drag queen. I want to say Alyssa Edwards is actually going to be at Miami Beach Pride. I mean, and that's next week.
That's right. So these girls all have a platform thanks to RuPaul.
Exactly.
Let's make it clear.
Exactly.
Is RuPaul the ones that changed the game and has kept it current and strong
and fresh and everything? So you're basically telling me RuPaul can go and present himself at the thousandth episode however the hell he wants.
Exactly.
Got it. That makes sense. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we'd like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We also desperately want to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ plus and allied community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on our favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells this type of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor at Queer News Tonight, FayWhat! And on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Dino Mosquera and Buddy Frey. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we hope that you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, by being transformative and being queer. Good night.
Good night.